Good morning, everybody. Nice to see all of you before class, at least. So as I was talking before class, I irritated my lower back, and it's probably for me an SI joint issue. So we're going to start class with me showing you some of the things that I do when my back is feeling this way, which it is right now. And anytime we mess with low back stuff, you always, just in yoga in general, we always take care of our bodies. Don't do everything I say to do, trust yourself. But today, especially the first part of class, is going to be a very exploratory, what's this feel like? You know, what's happening as I do it? As we do some deep stretch, slow it down a whole bunch. I hope you hang in there with me, but if you really wanted a good flow, this probably isn't going to be your class today. so have either, if you happen to have one of these little squishy balls, that sounded weird, have that. If not, have your block nearby, and also grab your strap and put a loop in the strap that is roughly hips width apart. It's going to be on the small side. We're going to put that our legs through that to do some outer hip work. And then come on down to the floor. And let your feet stay on the floor. Feel your whole back body. And let your hands rest maybe at the lower belly. And find your breath. So it's always interesting, especially for me. I'm not used to being quote unquote injured. And so I have to fight the urge to push through. I have to fight the urge to go, oh, what did you do? You know, how can this happen to you? All that stuff. And just accept that this is what's happening. How do I take the best care of myself that I can while this is resolving? And so we think about that, right? Because we're all human, and we all find ourselves in situations that, you know, aren't ideal, I guess. So how do we deal with that situation? You know, do we wish it was different? Or do we go, okay, this is the way it is today? Try to keep a happy mind, happy thoughts, and go, this will resolve. Hopefully this will resolve. And I'm trying to look at it as a gift from the universe to slow down and explore, just come back into some places in my body and maybe I haven't been paying a lot of attention to. So perhaps you have that same thing going on, whether you're super busy at work or you're dealing with a stress or injury or friends who are family who are not well. Whatever it is in your body, where is the gift here, right? Where is the thought that maybe we could slow down and just be with what is? So take some nice deep breaths in and exhale it out. Good, taking the breath in. And letting it go. Good, couple more right here. Just breathe in. And exhale out. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Take a deep breath in, everyone. And exhale it out. And then start some very gentle pelvic tilts and tucks, right? So we start to move through the pelvis as we tuck the back rounds, we press the back into the floor, and as we tilt, we start to move into an arch. And for me, with whatever's going on with my back, it's the tilt part that doesn't feel very good. So I notice that, and I just go a little bit slower. And I see if my body wants to soften up, loosen up a little bit. Good, few more right here. And then find a nice neutral spine. Bring your right knee into your chest. Hold on behind the knee and pause there. Try to keep more neutral spine instead of rounded spine. So there's still a tiny space behind your lower back. And one, you're here, or two, you're going to straighten the left leg. When you straighten the left leg, just let it relax. Usually we flex everything and engage everything. But I want you to just let it relax here. Let the left leg be soft, the right knee drawing in, hopefully stretching through that whole left side, front of the hip, right? So just feel that. Maybe a slight tone to the lower belly. And then wherever your left leg is, go ahead and fire it up. So let the toes point up to the ceiling, start to squeeze the leg, start to squeeze the glute, hold here. Some of you might lift that leg off the floor. I'm not going to do that this morning. So taking that foot off the floor and using a little bit more core work. Good, relax the left leg, take it back to the floor, slide the left leg up, grab that knee and switch sides. Either the right foot's on the floor or it's nice and straight down to the floor. And again, just pause, let the right leg be soft. Don't try to flex or engage. Let it just organically lay where it would for you. And then pause here and just feel the stretch through the right front hip, maybe even into the left back of the hip. Try to stay more on the sacrum, less flat on the lower back. And then start to engage the right leg, start to engage the right glute. Feel the energy of that leg. Again, nice tone to the lower belly. Maybe you lift the leg a little bit of core work here. Find your breath. Good, release the right leg, bring that knee to chest, both knees to chest. You can round into the low back here and then place both feet on the floor and grab your strap. Take the strap around your right foot, take the right foot up to the ceiling. So interesting here, right? How do we come to a relative straight leg? We don't want to hyperextend, but if you tend to bend the knee a lot, see where you can go to straighten it. And maybe you bend and straighten a few times. Your left foot's on the floor and just softly bend the right knee and then straighten the leg and bend it and straighten. Good, couple more. Find your breath, everyone. Maybe you have some nice music playing in the background. Maybe you're really chill this morning. And then keep the right leg straight. And once again, optionally straighten the left leg. And feel what's going on. Start with a left leg that's fully relaxed. The toes are going whatever direction they would normally go. The hip is released whichever way it would normally go. The right leg straight or relatively straight. Give yourself a nice flex of the right foot. Feel the stretch increase through the back of your right leg. And just hold on for a moment. Try to stay soft in the upper body. Let the shoulders be soft. The elbows are soft. Find your breath here. And then maybe inquire what's going on with this pose. Where do you feel it, right? Is it staying in the back of your right leg? Is it moving into the back body? What's going on for you? And then same thing, I want you to engage the left side. So feel the glute, the hip, the leg engage, the toes flex. Toes are pointing up toward the ceiling, the low belly engages. Maybe you lift the left leg a couple of inches off the floor, right? So again, working with core or not. Just that engagement of low abs is going to work your core. Find your breath here. And then release the left leg, bend your right knee, take the strap off, right foot goes to the floor, left leg comes in, grab your left foot with the strap. Same thing on this side. First, keep the right leg bent. Feel what's going on the hamstring on this side. See if you can come to a little bit straighter left knee, and then do maybe 5 or so straight and bend, right? Straightening the leg and bending it. Good. And just again, explore. When I have to slow down, which is not my normal, I really tap in a little bit deeper on what's really happening with the body, with my body in the moment. So again, straighten the leg, hold. Maybe straighten the right leg down to the floor. Relax the right leg to start. And just see what's going to happen with left side to right side. Feel your back settle toward the floor. Relax your upper body here. You're not even flexing the left foot. Just everything is kind of hanging out and stretching a little bit more organically. And then flex the left foot. Engage the right foot, engage the glute, right? Even if I'm not lifting, if I engage the glute, I can feel everything lift up just a little bit more. Good tone to the lower belly. Lift the right leg if you'd like. Breathe. Exhale it all out. And then release the right leg. Release the left, bend the right knee, bend the left knee, take the strap out, keep the strap nearby, but set it aside. And then grab either your ball, which we haven't used these in a long time, or grab your block. If you're using the block, it seems to work best if the block is at the second level and you're going to place it between the knees or just above the knees. Okay, if you're using your ball, just a little softer, you don't have those corners. You're going to take the ball to the same spot right between the legs, squeezing in just above the knees, and we're going to do some hip work. So you're squeezing in on the ball and hold or the block. If it hurts, don't squeeze quite so much, or move the block up or down an inch, and usually you can find a spot that works, and keep squeezing. So I was watching a physical therapist chiropractor video, and he said one of the ways to help SI joint issues is to work all the muscles around the hips. So inner thighs, outer thighs, glutes, right? All of that stuff. So here's where we're at. And release the squeeze. When you release the squeeze, release fully, like don't halfway release. Good. And then bring it in. I'm kind of squeezing for the count of 10. We're going to do 5 of these. Find your breath. Even though the legs are working, try to relax your upper body. Try to relax through the shoulders. Squeeze, 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 everybody. And release. When you release, release fully. Maybe you feel a little bit more arch in the low back. Good. And then squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, release fully. Good. 2 more sets. Squeeze, everybody. This is what I've been doing 3 times a day since yesterday morning. So thank you for bearing with me. Squeeze and release, release fully. We got 1 more. Nice, good squeeze. Feel the work of the inner thigh muscles, inner groin working. Find your breath. And release. Good. grab that block or ball, bend the knees, take the ball or the block between the shins, about halfway between your knees and your ankles. Now, if you're using a block, or a ball, it's actually a little bit harder to hold on to it, but it does work. Flex your feet. Your legs are at 90 degrees. If you want hands under sacrum, go ahead and do that. And give it another squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the squeeze, release the hips, and squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And again, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Almost there. Squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And last one. Squeeze the ball, everybody, or squeeze your block. And release. Draw your knees to chest. Take the block or the ball out of the way. Just hold the knees in for a moment. Straighten the left leg nice and long. You could let it hover as the right knee comes to chest. And then switch your left leg in, your right leg long. Good. Working with the belly just a little bit. And both knees in. Grab your strap. So hopefully you have a loop on your strap. You're going to take the strap around both legs, and you're going to draw the strap above your knees, generally speaking, 2-3 inches above the knees. Not too high though. You want to stay closer to the knees than the upper groin, okay? And when you press out, you should feel really good purchase here. Like you should be able to press out with your knees still pointing straight up, with your feet still lined up with your knees. Here we go. So press out. Ooh, excuse me. Press out and just hold. So isometric work, we work the inner thighs. Now we're working with a little bit more of the outer hips. Find your breath. A lot of times, this is a really relieving pose. For me, it feels great. And breathe. And release fully, right? You can't release too much, otherwise the strap will move, but try to release hips, release groin, and press out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Remember, the strap is above the knees, not below. Your feet are on the floor. Here we go. Press out, press out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Inhale. Press out, everybody. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Oh, yeah. And one more of these. We're doing 5 of everything. Press out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Woo, yeah, good. Bring the knees to your chest. Take the strap out. We're getting there. If you're bored out of your mind, maybe you can throw a little sun salute in there really quickly just to move yourself around. I know it's hard to do a lot of floor work. So bring your knees to your chest and roll the knees. Just do circles, knee circles, one direction, and then find the other direction. Just moving all around the sacrum, all around the glutes, and come back to center. So the next one is really interesting. It's one we used to do in class a lot more. We haven't done them in a while. So both knees are bent and lifted toward the chest. So you're going to take your right hand to the front right shin. You're going to take your left hand to the top of your left thigh. And what we're doing is this pushing and pulling action. So if you start with the left knee and push the left knee into your hand, but resist with the hand. So that's the push, right? Or the pull up part. And then take the right knee and push it against your hand, trying to push that knee away from you. And hold here. So this is a great exercise. I see it on every video I watch, almost, or some variation for SI joint, sacroiliac joint issues. So left knee's pushing in, right knee is pushing out, hold, and then fully release. So let all the tension go. We're going to do 2 more on this side. So push your right knee into your right hand, push your left knee into your left hand. So one knee's trying to go one way, one knee's trying to go the other way. Feet are comfortable. You're not really flexing or anything. You are breathing though, so don't forget to breathe. Hold, keep pressing one against the other, and fully release. All right, we got 1 more on this side. So push and pull, everybody. Left hand is trying to keep the knee from coming to chest. Right hand is trying to keep the knee from pushing away from you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fully release. Draw the knees toward your chest. Just pause for a second. Good. Same thing, other side. The left hand goes to the front of the shin this time. The right hand goes to the top of your thigh, just above the knee, if that wasn't clear. And then again, you're doing that same push-pull action. So when you're ready, press and pull. You're resisting both ways. Breathe. Use your breath, everybody. And release fully. And again, pushing away with the right hand, pulling in with the left. Sometimes if it's really hard to do both at the same time, you start with one knee and then you add the second knee. Breathe. And release. Good. 1 more right here. Pull the right knee in, press the left leg away. And release, knees to chest. Good. Feet to the floor, everybody. Straighten one leg. If it feels okay, straighten the other leg. And breathe. I'm going to keep a little bend in those knees for me. All right, 1 more here and we'll get off of our backs, which are probably starting to feel a little bit numb. So bend your knees. You're going to wrap both hands around the front of your left knee. It's just below your left knee, right there. And you're going to draw that knee into chest. Straighten the right leg. Push your right knee away or your left knee away from you until the arms are straight. So it's kind of similar to what we were just doing. You're pushing the knee away and you're resisting. Now, some of you are going to be able to actually hook your left elbow to the left knee and have a little bit more traction or a little bit more effect there, but not everybody can do that because it's a deep knee bend. So whichever way you go, push your knee into your hand or into your elbow crease and release it fully. And again, we're only doing 3 of these. So push and release. 1 more. Push into your hands or your elbow crease. Resist, everybody. And release. Good. Bend your other knee, switch sides. You're either holding the knee with both hands or the crook of your elbow. And when you're ready, push the knee away. Breathe. And release. Good. Push away. and release. Last one, push away, everybody. And release. Bend both knees, both feet to the floor. Tiny, tiny bridge pose. You're going to push into your feet. You're going to lift a few inches. And when you lift, squeeze your glutes. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And release fully to the floor. Good. Inhale, push up. Squeeze everything to center. Breathe. Don't come up super high. Breathe. If we were coming really high up in bridge, we would not tighten the glutes this much. It would start to congest that whole low back. So we're just taking it up a little bit so we can really access the glutes and release all the way down. Last one, squeeze up, squeeze in, hang on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release, everybody. Let go. Draw your knees to your chest. Whew. And then roll the knees over to one side and come on up to a seat. Whew. So, even if that was just kind of a nice little half-hour warm up for all the hip and leg muscles, not too bad, right? So come to an easy seat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left hand down, right arm over, stretch through that side. Now, the key is this, right? Pressing down through the right hip as the right arm extends up. So we find this nice big stretch, and then I just want you to twist a little bit toward the left, and then open it up and maybe open chest to the right. Good. And twist down and up. Good. 3 more. Just exhale as you start to twist toward that right or that left, and inhale as you open. 2 more. And up. And last one. And up. Good. Push off. Hold on to the beach ball. Just squeeze that upper body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, let go. Roll it out. Same thing, other side. Take it up. Exhale, your right hand down, the left arm up. Press down through that hip. You can even take your hand and press for a moment and then stretch the arm out from that press. It feels really good, at least it does to me. And breathe. And then start this little twist, right? We can start soft. Where do we feel the stretch? And then we open that stretch back up and exhale it down a little bit. And inhale it up. Exhale it down. Breathe. And reach it up. 2 more. Exhale. And up. Good. Last one. Exhale. And up. And then push up. Stretch it up. Hold on to the beach ball. And exhale, let go. Roll out your shoulders. Good. Let's take the right leg out, left leg in, Janu Sirsasana. You might want to grab a strap or not. So this is another one of those modifications. Right now, I'm not doing forward folds until my back settles down. So I'm going to use my strap here. Press back, press the shoulders back, lift up really tall, get the energy of that hamstring stretch without moving into my back. Now for you all, you might want to start to come forward, right? A little bit. You can walk your hands down the strap. Try to keep the body open. Try to keep the spine nice and neutral. Keep the head back along the rest of the spine instead of it pulling forward. Big deep breath. And then again, modification, grab that strap with the same side hand. One, the other hand's going up, 2, the leg's gonna lift. Breathe, nice tone to the belly, just firing this up. Some of you might want to let go of that strap and hold the leg. How does that feel? Does that feel good? Does that feel not so good? Lower that leg down, lift up super tall. Exhale the hands down, listen up. You're going to take that knee, step over your other leg, and lift really tall. So, especially with low back stuff, twists are a little bit controversial. For me, I trust my body. So I'm going to start this really easy twist. I'm going to wrap my right arm around my left leg and see how that feels. Feels great. So I'm going to hang in and just move into a twist. Now, I'm not going to go maybe to my fullest depth. I'm not sure that would be the smartest thing to do, but for now, the twist feels really good. And keep the leg, right? Keep the right leg grounded. Just feel where that twist is moving through your body. Deep breath, everybody. And come back to center. Good. And release this leg, straighten it out. Maybe we find a little bit of a Dandasana. And exhale, release it. Come on to the other side. Start in your Janu pose. Let's take the strap or not, but I like the strap, especially today. I love my strap. Flex the foot. Use the hands on either side of the strap to reach back through the shoulders. Find your breath. How does it feel to sit upright, right? How does it feel in your body? Is this the pose that we should be doing all along, right? Instead of rounding into our upper back or rounding into our lower back. And then again, either stay here, maybe start to bend the elbows a little bit. How does that feel in the body? Some of you are going to walk all the way down. Some of you can grab a hold of your foot, right? Again, trusting where you're at in the pose, where you're at in your body. Playing here with just a little lower back love, right? Taking care of that low back. Deep breath. And then some of you are going to hold on with one hand, take the other hand out and breathe. Some of you are going to lift that leg. How does that feel, right? Is that okay in your body, or is that starting to feel a little bit funky? And then again, some of you are going to lower that strap completely. I'm staying with the strap on this side. Breathe. And lower down. Nice job, everybody. Release that strap, set it aside. Take the knee up, step over the other leg, fire up the other leg, lift super tall. And then wrap the hand around, maybe come into a little bit of a twist. Nice deep breath. So in yoga, right, and probably in life, but in yoga, we never want to, good, other way, Judy. We never want to really just do everything by rote. Like, okay, I'm in a twist. I'm not really thinking about the twist, right? Can we feel what is happening? Where is it moving in your spine? What is really going on here? And breathe. And I think Lynn is backwards too.
I think Lynn's backwards.
Yeah, she is. Take your other hand, use your other hand. And come on back, everybody. We got all kinds of twists going on. Straighten it out, shake it out, bend the knees, wrap your arms around, and just lean forward. First, I was looking at Judy, and I'm like, wait, Lynn isn't quite right. Oh, wait, Betty's not. They were still doing a twist, just a little different. All right, release, everybody. Let's come to hands and knees. And you may find that I'll talk more than do, right? So just notice. So we're going to start in an easy table pose. Everything's easy today. And some really thoughtful cats and cows, right? We're just going to move through the spine. We're just going to find our breath. Inhaling, exhaling. Good, couple more. And then come to a neutral spine, press the right leg back, lift the right leg, again, fire up the glute, check out what's going on with the hips. Do they feel even to you? I'm going to give two choices here. The one I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my right knee toward my right elbow or toward my chest so I can keep moving into a cat-cow. If you would like a little bit more, you're going to take the left arm out and do balancing table and then the elbow to knee. So you decide for you. So bringing it in, pressing it straight out. Good. Squeeze it in and out. 3 more. Squeeze and open. 4 and open. Good. Last one. Squeeze and open and release it, everybody. Maybe you sit back in hero pose. Maybe you sit back in child's. And come on up. Same thing, other side. Press the left leg back. Level out through the hips. Lift the left leg. And then if you'd like, right arm reaches out. Breathe, find balancing table. And then elbow to knee or just knee coming in, moving out without the right hand lifted. Breathe. That's it. And 4. And 5. And hold and then release. Good. Take your feet, curl your toes under, come to downward facing dog. For me, I got to keep the knees a little bit more bent until this low back settles. So for you, maybe you can go into your straight leg down dog. Maybe your low back's bothering you and you're going to keep the knees bent a little bit more. But wherever you are, maybe you stretch through the side body. And breathe. And then lower your knees to the floor. Good. I'm going to have a seat because I'm the teacher. And you're going to take the right leg forward, right foot forward. If you need a demo, let me know. I'll talk one of my students into coming onto my mat. So right leg forward, coming into a low lunge. Take your hands to your right knee and feel like a curl of the pelvis and then a lift of the pelvis. Yeah. Feel the legs nice and energized. Inhale, take the arms up. Hold on to the beach ball. Let's get nice and active through the upper body. Find your breath. And then exhale, take those hands down to the floor. Lift your left knee off the floor. Either switch down dog and then bringing the left leg forward, or stay on the knees and take the left leg forward. What works best for you? Now, lunges, low back, especially SI joint stuff, and lunges, not the best thing, right? There are some modifications. So if you're here, you can take your left leg forward, but come more upright. So I didn't think about that till just now. What you got to be careful of is that split, kind of those split leg poses where one hip's going one way, one hip's going the other way. Can be a little bit dicey for the SI joint. But if you want to be in a lunge and you want to stay more upright and squeeze the glute and squeeze the belly and then take the arms up, or maybe you're in a more traditional lunge where the hips are more forward. Big deep breath. Just feel that. Good. And then exhale, hands come down to the floor. Lift your right knee off the floor. Step back to down dog, and then from down dog to lunge. Now lunge, or sorry, not lunge, plank. So a lot of times for plank, low backs, yuck. Well, what do? We lower the knees and breathe. Good, nice long poses, everybody. Squeeze. Good, take it to downward facing dog. And then step forward, right knee. So we're back in a low lunge. You can take it up nice and high if you want. Again, I'm doing lots of modifies today. Feeling that stretch through the left thigh. Or hands to floor, take the knee off the floor, take left knee off the floor. So you're coming into a high lunge instead. Yep. So if you're in a high lunge, you fire up those legs, everybody. Check the hips, the pelvis. Make sure you're feeling nice and even. And then take the arms up. Use your breath. Again, notice how this feels, right? So do we push through or do we modify, right? Do we vary the pose so that it serves our body and not the other way around? Breathe. Good. Exhale. Hands come to the floor. One down dog or switch sides. So whatever works best for you. When you're ready, you're taking the left foot forward, the right foot back. Again, coming into this either modification or not. Knee up, knee down. Where is it for you? Belly is nice and toned. We take the arms up. We find all that beautiful stability. That's it. We smile. We make lemonade out of lemons, right? Breathe. And then exhale, hands come down to the floor. Go back to downward facing dog or table pose. By the way, I have some students that down dog is not in their wheelhouse, so table pose works. And then either full plank or half plank. Where is it for you? Use your breath. Can you hold this pose and let it make sense in your body, right? Can you feel the work? Fire up the legs, by the way. Yeah, I see a couple legs here just kind of hanging out. Breathe. And then everybody lower down to your knees. And maybe you find either a child's pose or hero pose, or you lay on your belly and find your breath. So I know at least one of my students out there is having a little bit of trouble laying on her belly because of the knees. And Betty offered a solution that I had not thought about or hadn't given thought to. And that is to take your blanket or a pillow. So when you're on your belly, you can just roll that under the ankles. That should take the pressure under your knees, off of the knees. So we're going to come to that in just a little bit. All right, so you're from wherever you are, come back to table pose. From table pose to down dog. From down dog, the feet go wide, the hands walk back, hands come to your knees, and you come up to standing. Whew. Good, shake it out, everybody, and breathe. And grab one of your blocks or your ball, really. I guess you could use the ball too. The ball's just so soft. Take the ball or the blocks between your thighs. The feet come parallel. Whew, squeeze the ball or squeeze the block. Take a deep breath. And notice this mountain pose, right? Mountain-ish pose. So use your breath here. Whew. Not used to having my hair down. I thought it's going to be easy class. I can keep my hair down today. Gets all in my way. Good. Nice deep breath, everybody. One, stay here because you're baby in this low back. Two, bring it into more of a chair pose. So chair pose again, right? If I'm being real, which I try to be, we're squeezing that block or ball gently. I'm not going deep. No way, no how. This back won't handle that, but I can come here. That doesn't hurt, right? Core engagement, tailbone long. Maybe the arms come out. This is an awesome chair pose. So knee issues, you can't bend that deep. You come up a little bit higher. If you are being real with your body, you're trusting that it's going to give you the information that you need. Good. Stand up really tall. You're going to hinge halfway down. Knees are soft. For some, you're here. Again, low back stuff. For me, I'm halfway down. Or you're going to come a little bit lower. Find length in the spine, everybody. Use your breath. You still got that block or that ball between the thighs. Breathe. And then when you're ready, the knees bend, the chest comes up. You're coming into chair pose number 2. If you have the ball or the block between your legs and you hate it, take it out. It's okay, right? For some people, it might just be hitting muscle or tissue that doesn't feel good to you. It's okay. Breathe, squeeze, stand all the way up. Good squeeze of the glutes. Exhale halfway or all the way down. Keep it soft. And breathe. Good. We have one more of those, everybody. Bend the knees, lift your chest, take the arms out. Hold on to the beach ball between those hands, the imaginary beach ball. Keep the upper body active. Stand all the way up, squeeze the glutes, and then just release. Take that ball, that block out from your legs, set it aside. Good, and then come up to the front of your mat. I'm gonna talk you through. I'm not gonna do it. I know, like in the old days, right? Except I don't even know why I should stay in front of the camera. No. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Breathe. Inhale, halfway up, halfway up. Good, lengthen through the spine, length. There you go, Judy. See, now I can see you. Breathe, exhale the rest of the way down. Soften the knees, step back to your right leg. Now, low back folks, if you were watching this for your low back, I would be super mindful through this little bit of a flow. So you're in a nice lunge, your back foot is straight-ish. Judy, you're a little bit narrow there, so I would go wider. Take your hands to your knee, tone the belly in. Yeah, start to lift the chest. And it's kind of interesting, right? If you're here, I'm going to do a super short lunge. What would happen if you tucked first and then lifted, right? How would that change your pose? So try that. Bring your torso forward, right? Even if your hands are on the floor, or if you just take your hands to your knee and then tuck in through the belly so that the head chest is the last thing to lift. And what does that feel like in your body? Breathe, take the arms up, fire up the whole body here in this pose. Lunges are not the easiest poses, right? They require tons and tons of muscle. Exhale, take it down to the floor. Did you exhale? Did you breathe? That's it. All right, when you're ready, step back, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Come to plank pose. Use your breath again, broaden, widen, open up. Yeah, take the knees to the floor. You decide, one, just hang out halfway down, or take it down through chaturanga. Breathe. Watch those hips, Judy, Judy, keep them higher. Yep, breathe. Take it to a low back bend, super, super low. Or by the way, if you're dealing with low back stuff, I didn't even think of this, you could use a chair. That'd have been beautiful. When you're ready, press back up through plank to down dog. Breathe. Good. I'm coming off camera for a second. I'm going to grab a chair. It's such a brilliant idea. Find your breath. When you're ready, step forward, right leg. Step forward, left. Come back to your forward fold. So my folks here, right, low back stuff. You're here, forward fold, hands are to your chair. And when you're ready, press all the way up, lift up, exhale to your heart. Nice, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to chair, hands to floor, forward fold. I love chair yoga. Press into your shins, press into your chair, halfway up. Exhale it right back down. When you're ready, step back with your left leg coming into a lunge. Now, if you're using a chair, by the way, Make sure it's on your mat. So you're in this nice lunge. Take your hands to your knee, or before you lift, curl in through your spine, then lift the chest, then take the arms up. I'm in a short lunge. It's easier on the back. So we're just going super easy today. Breathe. You got this. Feel the strength of that lunge, and then take the hands back down. Chair or floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Hold the pose here for a moment. Use your breath. From down dog to plank. Breathe. Notice good core work here, fired up legs. And then you, anyone who decides, take the knees down or leave them up. Come to chaturanga. Lower back, easy low back bend. Exhale, plank. Press back out. That's it. Then to down dog. Find your breath, everybody. Hold here. And then walk your hands back to your feet. And from that forward fold, come back up to standing. Good job, everybody. And feel your pose. So while I got you up, let's go to a balanced pose. So again, if you're working on certain things, maybe you got a hand to a chair. We're going to do a simple tree pose, right? So we start with this outer hip or your right hip, whichever one you want to start with, and just kind of rock it out and bring it back. Your foot's on the floor. You're taking the knee in and out, in and out. And the next time it's out, I want you to pause. And when you pause here, feel the activation of that glute. You feel that, everybody? Right? So already it activates. But then feel the standing legs hip also activate. So it draws it in, both hip points pointing straight ahead. So tree pose, 1, you're here. 2, the foot comes off the floor any amount. 3, you can bring it up higher. But again, trusting your body. So yesterday, I could not stand on one leg without it making my back spasm. Right now, it's feeling okay. So I'm going to just use the chair for support so I don't have to fight it. And then just breathe. Arms up, arms to chest. Wherever you are at the moment works beautifully. And then when you're ready, come on out and shake it out. Oh, and then switch sides. It's like it felt good. And then all of a sudden my back's like, yeah, that's enough. That's good. Don't need to do any more. So same thing, other side, squeezing it in. And I so appreciate, by the way, all my students who love me and let me work out my back issues in class. And so we're doing the same thing. We're just turning it in, turning it out. Noticing maybe some differences on this side. There's a big difference from the other side. I can feel there's less movement. It's probably which side SI joint is locked up for me. By the way, if you ever are concerned, just a disclaimer, don't listen to your doctor. Good, turn the toes out. Feel that glute activate from the external rotation of the hip, and then fire up the standing leg and feel that. And then take the pose where it makes sense for your body. But we squeeze in through the standing hip, right? Again, especially if you're working with some low back stuff, you don't want to fight a balanced pose or anything. So you put a finger on a wall, you put a hand on a chair. And then when you're ready, you can take the arms up, breathe, find that still point, right? That still point that helps you stay focused, helps you stay balanced. And when you're ready, take it out. Whew, shake it out, everybody. You're going to come back to the front of your mat. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down again, forward folds, watch your back. Breathe, and then step back to down dog. Again, low back, knees stay more bent. Tight hamstrings, knees stay more bent. Lower your knees to the floor. Breathe. And then I think we're going to, do I want to skip belly? Grab your blanket. So my one gal out there, I know for sure, the blanket's probably going to go under your shins, under the front of your ankles, and not where we're going to put it, because that would be more important. Everybody else is going to just have the blanket where their hips are going to land. So it's nice and smooth. You're going to come on down to your belly. The other option too with knees, because of knee surgery, right, is maybe to just keep you up on your toes, right? That helps Betty sometimes, right? Again, that takes that pressure off the knees. But with a blanket there, it does help, so you don't have to worry about the feet. So we're going to start, and this will be tricky with the earpieces, but we're going to start just laying on our bellies. Head is down, legs are long, legs are relaxed. And give yourself some time to feel any sensation, anything. So again, for me, low back, being irritated. When I first lay like this, my back's not super happy about it, but it's not really hurting. I don't think it's making it worse. So I'm just going to wait a moment and see if the hips, the legs, the lumbar spine will settle down and be okay in this place. And you can feel, right? And it's the same thing when you're on your belly or on your back, and you first go in and your back is talking to you a little bit. So same kind of sensation. And then turn the head to one side. Normally, I would not use my hands under my head like this, but because I have the earpiece in, I have to. So McKenzie exercises, if you were doing them, your arms usually kind of cactus pose or some variation, and the head is turned to one side. Your hips are relaxed, everything is relaxed. And you're just getting a sense of what's going on with your cervical spine. So we just breathe. And notice, right? So the spine is all connected. I often think of the spine as a string of pearls, all of the parts moving, but all of them connected. And so our necks being really tight, our thoracic spine being really tight, can affect us all the way down through the sacrum. So release this side, kind of lift and turn your head and go to the other side. If your head is comfortable on the floor, excuse me, do that. If it isn't, a hand under the head is okay. Or even a blanket under your head. Sorry about that. Try to relax your body. Let go. Notice if there is less sensation in your low back, in your hips, in your sacrum. Deep breath. When I started doing these yesterday, my neck was super tight. And today it feels so much better. These are exercises by a physician called Robin, who's named Robin McKenzie. And he developed an entire protocol for low back issues. I gotta sit up because my throat won't clear. So go ahead and bring the head back to neutral. That's better. And you're gonna come up in, if that all felt okay on your low back, you're gonna come up in the laziest Sphinx pose you can imagine. So I have a lot of feelings about Sphinx pose, about the way it should be. But in this case, you're going to take the elbows further. You're going to not engage your lower belly. You can let the head drop or hang. It's kind of a yin pose, but it's also, again, part of Dr. Mackenzie's theory of trying to relax the muscles. So normally we're going to be bracing and pulling in our belly and all that stuff. But here you're just going to let gravity kind of take the lower back. If this feels terrible, you move the elbows further forward. You go lower still. If it feels okay, you just wait a little bit. Or you bring the elbows in just a little bit more. But it's really kind of a lazy, I call it a lazy Sphinx. The chest drops forward, the belly is heavy, the legs are inactive, and you just breathe. And maybe you notice sensation dissipating. If not, then I would come out more. I would come back to just turning the head. Breathe. The hardest part for me is letting go, is the letting go process of really trying not to hold the hips, not holding the hip muscles, the glute muscles, the legs, the belly. And then lower all the way down. And just shake out the hips, bend the knees, windshield wiper the legs. And then very gently, very slowly, I want you to roll onto your backs again. And once you're on your back, place your feet on the floor again. So with my lower back kind of going in and out of spasms, there's two poses that have been the best for me, and this is one of them. It is just laying on the ground, laying on the floor and waiting for it to settle back down. The other option is feet to the wall, where your legs are at a 90-degree angle, or your feet are over your leg or over a chair at a 90. So it's not legs up the wall, but at a 90 degrees so that the back body can just fully surrender and let go. So draw your right knee to your chest. And breathe. Straighten the left leg. We were here already. Pause again. Let the left leg be soft. Notice any difference at all from the first one you did. And then 1, you're going to stay here. 2, you're going to bend the left knee and come into figure 4. With figure 4, either your foot stays on the floor where I'm going to stay today, or you're going to draw your knees up toward your chest. But once you're there again, see if you can, and I think I'm particularly aware of it because my low back is chatting with me, of where I'm tightening up to protect an area. So I notice and then adjust the pose and then see if I can settle there. If you're not having any issues today, you're just coming along for the ride with me, which I appreciate. Maybe you play with your pose a little bit. I love figure four where we slide the shin halfway across. Again, knees would be closer to chest, so we hit a different part of those glute muscles. And then, of course, you can always cross knee over knee. Bring the knees toward your chest, hold on to the feet and come into cow face legs. That can be really nice too. But soften the upper body. Let go of unnecessary tension. Maybe it is a knee to chest instead of figure four. And then whichever pose you chose, let that go. Both feet back to the floor. And then draw the left knee to your chest. Maybe you're hanging out right there. Maybe the right leg straightens. And then one, you're either going to stay here, this feels really good, or you're going to bend that knee, come to figure four on this side. Either the foot stays on the floor or you draw your knees to chest, or breathe. Maybe rock a little side to side. And then again, if you want to vary that figure four, maybe you slide the shin halfway across. Maybe you cross knee over knee, separating the feet away from each other, holding the shins or the feet and coming into cow face pose. Notice how it feels in your body. And then release that pose completely. And I want to give several options here. We're going to start to move toward Shavasana. You can grab one block, which I'm not going to do, and lift into bridge pose. Take the block underneath your hips for restorative bridge, and then taking the legs up. You can come to a wall space and do the pose I was just talking about, where your legs are at a 90-degree angle and you're just softly staying in this really comfortable, for me, very comfortable pose. Your feet are on the wall, your knees come out from your feet, the hips are heavy. Or you can just have the knees bent, feet on the floor, or take your blanket, roll it under your knees, and come to Shavasana. And even in Shavasana, what feels good for you? So if you're up on block, your legs are up toward the ceiling. You can even, if you're close to a wall and you want to do legs up the wall, that's awesome too. Wherever you are, see if you can settle the upper body, right? Working on a little bit of an inversion if that's what you chose. And finding your breath. And breathing. If your legs are up the wall or up toward the ceiling, slowly bend your knees and draw the knees toward your chest. You're going to release one leg and then the other leg, one foot, then the other foot to the floor. Pause here. And then lift up off the block. Squeeze in through the glutes just for a second and then come on down. And finally, find the Shavasana that works best for your body. Feel the upper body soften. Maybe turn the head once or twice just to the side. I have my blanket underneath the high part of my hamstrings or the upper thighs, and it feels really good on my back. Maybe your blanket's down under the knees. And we just start to soften our bodies down as we live our truth. For me, as I practice what I preach, that we take care of our bodies and we listen. And we let go softly. Feel your jaw soften even more. Feel the belly and the hips soften. Breathe, everybody. For those of you who are ready, go ahead and start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. It seemed like a very quick Shavasana. Where'd the time go? Slowly draw your knees to your chest. Squeeze them in. Just let yourself rock side to side. Work out any other kinks that might be there. And then allow the knees to roll to one side or the other. And curl all the way over to fetal pose. And then as you're ready, press up. Bring your hands to your heart. Bow to your own inner wisdom. Trust yourself to listen. Do your best. Keep on moving though. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.